Since 1955, O'Donnell, Weiss, and Megay law offices has had a proud history of support for our surrounding communities of Pottstown, Phoenixville, all areas in between and surrounding. This program highlights just one of the many not-for-profit organizations in which our attorneys and staff are currently involved. Thank you to the many people who volunteer to make our region a great place to live and to work. Enjoy the show. Good evening and welcome to Legal Talk, the talk show brought to you by the law offices of O'Donnell, Weiss, and Megay. Your business, your life, your law firm. We're located at 41 High Street in Pottstown. We're also located at 347 Bridge Street in Phoenixville. We've been in Phoenixville for 11 and a half years now. We've been in Pottstown, I'm proud to say, for 62 years now, 62 and a half years now. Again, I'm David Megay. I'm one of the owners of the law firm. And folks, we've been doing this show proudly for many, many years, I think over 20 years now. And we've always focused on legal issues which we hope interest you folks. This year in 2017, we're focusing a little bit less on legal issues and a little bit more on the communities in which we do business. The general TriCounty area, Pottstown, Royersford, Spring City, Boyertown, Phoenixville, Audubon, Douglasville, et cetera, et cetera. And in focusing on those communities, we've been highlighting or spotlighting, maybe a better term, some local charitable organizations that serve our community, that provide a great service to me, to my law firm, the people that work in our law firm, as well as the rest of the community. This month, we're focusing on an organization called SCORE, or TriCounty SCORE. That's SCORE. And tonight, I'm joined by a fellow by the name of Tom Gosse, G-O-S-S-E. Am I right, Tom?
Correct.
All right, and Tom's here with me, and Tom's one of the volunteers for SCORE. What I'd like to do, folks, is the first half of the show now that I'm done talking about me, Tom, and my office, I want to talk about you, your business background. I want to generally tell our viewers, and I've been a volunteer at SCORE since 1990. So what's that? 27 years already. And folks, I'm going to exaggerate and say maybe every month. Maybe it's not every month, but I run into people very frequently who, when I mention the word SCORE, they have no idea what it is.
True.
So what I'd like to do, folks, is that over the next couple of minutes before halftime, before our break, is talk about Tom and his business background and his role with SCORE. Generally talk about SCORE, generally. And then, Tom, on the second half of the show, I want to talk about what SCORE can do for our viewers, the business leaders, business owners, entrepreneurs in the Tri-County area, and what SCORE can offer them on a day-by-day, week-by-week basis. So is that a fair outline of what we're going to accomplish? So, folks, again, this is Tom Gosse, G-O-S-S-E.
Yep.
Tom volunteers for SCORE. Tom, give us a little idea, or not a little idea, brag about yourself and your business background and what you've accomplished.
Well, I was 45 years in sales and marketing of consumer products to what we refer to now as bricks and mortar retailers. So typically you would find me in, say, the Walmart waiting room with a sample case, or perhaps in a factory in China with a Bed Bath & Beyond buyer discussing products and pricing and programs and that kind of stuff. So that's, in general, my background.
You traveled did you say China?
Yes.
That China is a town in Idaho, or the country China? No,
the country China.
So you did it both nationally and internationally?
Yes, correct.
Okay. How did you get involved in SCORE?
Well, humorously, when I was thinking of retiring, I thought that I wanted to help children read. Oh. When I retired, I went into an elementary school in West Norristown, and unfortunately, the children realized in about 10 minutes, and it probably took me a half an hour, to know that I was not cut out for it. Mm-hmm. And I look back on it fondly and with humor, but I came home from that rather dejected, and my neighbor met me in the driveway and said, and she knew what was happening, and she said, you should look at this SCORE outfit.
Okay.
And she said, I think that's a little more along the line of what you ought to be doing.
And how long ago was that?
3 years.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Tell us, what does SCORE mean? What's SCORE stand for?
SCORE is an acronym for Service Corps of Retired Executives. And it began 50 years ago, over 50 years ago now, as part of the SBA, and now that has changed into we are considered a resource partner with the Small Business Administration. And that's what it is.
Okay. Is SCORE just located here in Pottstown? Or
No.
is it an international organization, national organization?
SCORE is a national organization. It is not international. I believe there are chapters in perhaps Puerto Rico, as you can imagine, or the Virgin Islands, and I'm not sure of that, but it is national. There are 10,000 SCORE volunteers, like myself, across the country in over 300 chapters. So we've pretty much got it covered.
Are there chapters in every state as far as you know?
As far as I know, yes, and obviously multiple chapters, as you know, as we have here locally, several.
Okay.
Yes.
And how is SCORE? Or talk to the viewers a little bit about how SCORE funded. Like we're standing here in the SCORE offices at 244 High Street, Pottstown.
Correct.
And it's not. And folks, we're going to take a little tour in a bit, maybe in the second half of the show. But how's it funded? Not out of your pocket,
No.
although you donate a lot of time, as do some of their volunteers that are here today. How's it funded?
We receive a bit of money from the SBA. It doesn't pay our bills here, nor would it for any Small Business Administration, right? The rest of it is private donations from your firm and you personally, thank you. A lot of the banks, accounting offices, and so on will support us financially and as mentors and volunteers and so on. So we're always scrambling for money, no question about it. And you know, some chapters, depending on their demographics, will do better than others. We can use the money.
Yeah. And give us an idea of or is there a national SCORE organization that oversees what the individual chapters do?
Yes. National SCORE headquarters is in Herndon, Virginia. Then there are district offices. The district office for us, I believe, is in Connecticut. I'm not sure about that. I think it's wherever the district office is wherever the district manager resides, and we just had a change, which is mandatory, actually. So it's up there somewhere. He lives. But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how many district offices there are. But the headquarters is Herndon, Virginia, and we get a lot of support from them, not financially, but material and that kind of stuff.
I was just going to ask you about that.
Yep.
The support that you get from National SCORE, does it consist of they send you some supplies or pamphlets, or do they provide speakers, or all of the above?
All of the above, actually.
Great.
But there's a National SCORE website, which is score.org, and on there you're going to find it's extensive. I mean, I have never been able to get all the way through it, but there is a library of material. There is a library of webinars and instructional videos, a lot of support like that on a national scale. Then they will supply us with that material and printed material where we will insert, the SCORE TriCounty logo, tag it, that kind of stuff. So yes, we get very good support from SCORE National.
Great.
A lot, yeah.
Great. Tell us about the boots on the ground with the volunteers that you have here at SCORE. Give us an idea of numbers and of backgrounds. You don't have to use names. You can if you'd like. Numbers of volunteers, backgrounds, what it takes to volunteer. We're almost up against, I believe, halftime. But on the other half of the show, again, folks, we're going to talk about what's it like when you walk through the door here at SCORE and this particular services. But get back to the boots on the ground with our volunteers? Where do they come from, walks of life, business walks of life, et cetera?
We have currently, and the number will vary, but we've got 23 or 24 volunteers here. Now, we use the terms interchangeably. They're a SCORE certified mentor, which is what we are and what you have to be now. It's mandatory. And that's a process, an educational process, an indoctrination, if you will, that you will go through to become a certified SCORE mentor or advisor or volunteer. You can use them interchangeably depending on the situation. So there's 23 here. The variety of backgrounds is we're weighted heavily in the bank, accounting, financial area. We have sales and marketing people. We have an architect, basically.
Right.
Forgetting the adjective. And so we've got a pretty good variety, but really the important thing is that we can draw nationally for subject matter experts. For example, I have clients right now, and I was approached by someone who had a very specific agricultural equipment business, and that's not my background. So I went to SCORE National and said, who's out there with this kind of...
Hold that thought, because it's not your background, and it's probably not the background of any of our volunteers here.
Yes.
Okay. So that's why you went to you have that resource of the national organization. And they had all kinds of people.
Yes. We use it quite often. We bring them in as a co-mentor.
Okay.
In this particular case, I turned the whole client over to him. And it turned out he was in Lancaster, and he had very specific experience in agriculture equipment with a specialty in what this person was looking for. I mean, that's pretty incredible when you think you can do that. We also rely on what we call subject matter experts. They are not SCORE mentors, they are not certified, but they have an in-depth knowledge and experience of a specific type. I have a client right now that wants to start a fashion retail business online, and I happen to personally know someone with a very deep background in that, so I bring her in as a subject matter expert. But she hasn't signed the code of conduct, and she's not legitimately a SCORE certified mentor.
Okay.
But we can pull in that too. So.
And our volunteers here at the Pottstown SCORE organization, their business backgrounds run from what to what?
Again, we're weighted here banking, finance, yes.
Okay.
Sales and marketing. As I said, we've got the architect, and insurance, that kind of stuff.
Okay. If any of our viewers wanted to become, I just thought of this question, so I'm kind of throwing you a curveball here. If any of our viewers want to become a volunteer, what do they need to do after they're done watching this whole entire show, I would hope?
Call us. Please call us. We love to have new volunteers. We need your experience. I would strongly urge you and encourage you, if you're thinking about it, to do it. I would volunteer to you that you don't know how much you know, and that you can be a significant help, not only to the client, but to the community. And this is a very rewarding occupation, I guess, for lack of a better word. I jokingly say sometimes that I get more out of it than my clients do. If in any way this interests you, please call us. Or get on the website, which is score.TriCounty, and come and see us. We'd love to have you.
As I said at the outset, I've been volunteering. My law firm has been volunteering since late 80s. And I see a lot of those people at the seminars we give. By those people, I mean the startups, the entrepreneurs. But also, I've also seen quite a few existing businesses who need a shot in the arm, or they're open to suggestions on how to change their business, however successful or perhaps even stuck in the mud. And I really admire the first group, because it takes a lot of courage to come in. It takes a lot of courage generally to say, I need help.
Yes.
But I also admire the existing business owners or operators who come to SCORE and say, hey, I'm in a rut, or I'm struggling, Or I'm doing well, but I'm open to suggestions.
Well, imagine, if you will, as a small business operator, could you possibly know everything?
Well,
And the answer...
a lot of people, some people are going to say yes, but it takes courage to say.
Oh, yes, that's correct.
It takes courage to say
no.
No, I don't. I'm learning, and I want to get, I'm already ahead of my competition, or I think I'm ahead of my competition, but I want to get even further ahead.
Yes. Yes, probably the biggest area is marketing in this day and age. It's the biggest change for everybody. Social media marketing, where do I take my business, what's the correct platform? And you can imagine this. I've had a manufacturer, a gentleman took over a manufacturing firm and discovered that he wasn't as aware of the processes and manufacturing controls that he thought he was. So we brought in a manufacturing expert and helped him out a great deal. So those are a couple of examples of how we can help existing business. But the point to remember is you can't possibly know all of it.
Right.
And I've got 9,999 people behind me. One or two of them are going to know what you need to know.
That's true. That's true. Well, folks. Well, Tom, I'd like to take a time out now.
Sure.
For a break for our sponsors. What I'd like to do is, on the second half of the show, we've talked generally about you and not more importantly, just as importantly as you, generally about SCORE. Second half of the show, viewers, we're going to talk about particularly exactly what SCORE can do for you. So please stay tuned for the next half of Legal Talk, brought to you by the law offices of O'Donnell, Weiss, and Megay.
For over 50 years now, O'Donnell, Weiss, and Megay have helped their clients resolve a wide variety of legal challenges. OWM Law provides legal representation to clients throughout southeastern Pennsylvania. The attorneys and highly trained support staff utilize the latest technology and resources available to satisfy the needs of their clients. O'Donnell, Weiss, and Megay, delivering the highest level of professional service.
Welcome back to Legal Talk show brought to you by the law offices of O'Donnell, Weiss, and Megay, your life, your business, your law firm. We're located at 41 High Street in Pottstown, where we've been since 1955, and we're located at 347 Bridge in Phoenixville, where we've been located since 2006. Time flies. We're also at www.owmlaw.com. Again, your life, your business, your law firm. I'm David Megay. I'm one of the attorneys at the office, and I'm joined here tonight by Tom Gosse from SCORE. And on the first half of the show, if you're just joining in, folks, we've been doing this Legal Talk show as an office for over 20 years. This year, in 2017, we always talked about legal topics, some of which you found boring, I'm sure. Most of which I'm sure you found very exciting. But this year, Tom, we're focusing on charitable organizations in the general TriCounty area. And this month, we're featuring SCORE of Pottstown. And if you're just tuning in, first half of the show, Tom, you and I talked about you. We talked about generally what SCORE does on a national level. What I'd like you to do is let's drill down to what SCORE here in Pottstown and Boyertown and all around the Tri-County area can do for our viewers. What's a typical day look like? And tell us a little bit about our Pottstown office. We're standing in a part of the Pottstown office here at 244 High Street.
Well, a typical day, typical week here in the Tri-County SCORE in Pottstown, a volunteer like myself will start off the week with some scheduled appointments with mentors, or not mentors, excuse me, clients. Then during the week, we will probably be asked to take on another client that's looking for either us specifically or our background. So your calendar will fill up rapidly on a Monday. Then, of course, there are the classes that we will give in the evening. Usually there's 1 or 2 of them a week.
Wait a minute. There's 1 or 2 a week?
Yes.
Or a month?
A week.
A week. So we have volunteers here at 244 High Street a couple times a week in the evening to accommodate our business operators who need some mentoring.
Let me correct myself.
Sure.
I'm not going to overstate it. I'm going to say there's probably 5 a month.
That's
okay. I'm going to back
like
off
one
a little
or
bit.
so a week to me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you start off with a schedule as a volunteer, and it can grow on you if you want to. As a volunteer, you can say no thanks, or I can't, or I'm too busy. You can dial it up, you can dial it down. Typically in the winter, I will take on more responsibilities and then back off a little bit in the summer. So you are a volunteer. We remind ourselves of that constantly.
Right.
But a typical day, you're going to meet with clients, you're going to answer emails. Depending on the method of the individual volunteer or mentor, some will participate a little more with the client's business. Some will advise and keep it at advice. We give them homework. We send them back and say, okay, here's the things we'd like you to do. These are the things we think you need to do. A lot of what we do, and the clients will tell you this, is we help them focus. So that might be a client meeting. You know, you're scattered, you're all over the place, you're trying to do too many things at once. Let's get it down, let's get a direction, let's get some priorities, let's get some steps, and I want you to focus on these things.
Okay.
And they're very grateful for that. That's one of the main things they tell us
Is that
when
right?
they leave.
Help them organize their thoughts.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Yes. They're wandering.
Right.
And
right.
You know,
Give them a plan of action steps.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
Okay. Homework.
Yes.
Well, that's good stuff.
Yes. I don't want to scare anyone away. We operate at your convenience and on your schedule as the client. We don't dictate your schedule. We follow yours. So that, you know, typically, well, to go back to numbers, we will average 230 new clients each month. Or no, I'm sorry, each year, which comes down to about between 15 and 20 a month.
Still impressive.
Brand new.
4 a week, roughly.
Yes, brand new.
Brand new.
Brand new in the door. In addition, on top of that, we will conduct probably 700, more than 700 sessions with new and with old clients over the course of a year.
Per year.
Per year.
Okay.
Per year, yes. So we're busy.
Yeah.
You know, we're busy. This chapter just, I think it was last year, was awarded platinum status.
And this chapter being the Pottstown chapter.
It was Pottstown. We actually changed the name to TriCounty because of the area that we service.
Sure.
It's Pottstown, it's Boyer, you know, it gets out.
Well, hey, before you talk about the platinum status, because
Sure.
I want to go back to that, but I don't think I've mentioned this. When you say the area it serves, what area does it serve? Because we have viewers all around the Tri-County area. We might have somebody who says, I'm out of their area.
Okay.
Give us an idea of that.
Western Montgomery County, Eastern Berks County, and Northern Chester County, hence the Tri-County. We're surrounded by SCORE chapters. There is one in Reading, there's one in Doylestown, there's one in the Lehigh Valley, and there's one down in Westchester.
Okay.
So,
so if I'm a business owner in Phoenixville,
yes,
I could come to the
Yes.
Tri-County SCORE. If I'm a
Yes.
business owner in Roarsford, certainly.
yes,
Douglasville,
yes,
great. Pottstown.
yes.
Now, tell us about the platinum status that Tri-County achieved.
Well, SCORE National has metrics that you know, benchmarks for us to try to achieve, and we've achieved them.
Okay.
And in this chapter, it has to do with growth, not total numbers, but the growth from year to year. So we got a platinum status. The one I think that we're most proud of, and the one that's watched very closely at SCORE, is it's an NPS, and forgive me, I forget what the initials stand for, but it's the satisfaction rate given by clients to their mentor and the chapter. We asked, we asked them to fill out a survey, and we're in the 90% satisfaction range, extremely high for the country, and we are one of the highest in the country as far as clients that are satisfied with what they got from us. Growth, number of clients, number of services provided to clients over the course of a year. So those metrics are what we are judged by, and because of that we were given the platinum status, which is, by the way, the highest in the country.
Off camera, you and I talked about a particular kind of a fairly new project that near and dear to your heart, and that's your exposing the Boyertown community to the services that TriCounty SCORE offers. Could you talk about that a little bit?
Well, there's a lot going on in Pottstown and in Boyertown right now. They're both growing, and they're going to be growing, and you, as consumers and the population, you're going to see it soon. But the Boyertown, I became interested in Boyertown through a client. And I saw what Boyertown has in terms of assets and heritage, tourism, and so on. And I became very involved, and we opened a branch in Boyertown because of that growth. There was a big interest.
Where is it located?
It's in the Building a Better Boyertown office at 3 East Philadelphia Avenue, which is
3 East Philadelphia.
One door down from the intersection of Philadelphia and Reading Avenue.
Oh, sure.
It is a branch office. If you Google map it, you're going to come up with Boyertown by that zip code. But it got interesting because we were surprised at the number of new clients that came in through that office. It was more than we anticipated. And it got to be that I am exclusively working with Boyertown clients at this point.
Okay.
And the town of Boyertown. So yes.
Our Boyertown area viewers, they could come to Pottstown if they wanted to, or they could utilize that branch office in Boyertown.
Yes.
Is that a full-time office in Boyertown?
No, it's an appointment. It's a by appointment.
By appointment only.
If you call or email and you use the word Boyertown, I'm going to get it. It's going to land on my desk, and you and I will probably meet.
Okay. Well, we're standing not in the Boyertown office. We're standing in the Pottstown office. Can you give us a quick thumbnail sketch of where we are here?
Yes.
Well, I have a minute left, I should say. But.
You're in Suite 102 of 244 East High Street. It's in the basement, more or less.
Right.
We are under the Connections on High coffee shop at 244 High Street. We've been in this office, forgive me, I don't know how long, a long time. And thanks to the owners, it's at a significantly lower rate than you might pay. But we are standing in the classroom portion of it. Beyond the panels there is the office portion. On any given day, you will find mentors meeting with clients in various areas here, some over there, some over there. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, the doors are open and there are people in here from 10 to noon if you want to just wander in.
Now, can our viewers get information about SCORE through the internet? What would that website address be?
It is TriCounty.score.org.
TriCounty.score.org. Well, Tom, you and I, being the salesperson and the lawyer, we could talk forever. And I could talk forever about SCORE because I'm so proud to be affiliated with the organization. We've run out of time.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you for everything you do. And I want to give a shout out. I was thinking while Tom, you were talking about the volunteers here, and I'll miss them, but I'll miss some names. But Don Havis, Bob Fries, Rich Gensler, back in the day, Dick Ludwig, Carl Landis, Sylvia Landis, Dick Heilman, just the pillars of the community.
Yes.
And folks, that's the kind of people that you're affiliating yourself with when you come to SCORE. So you've been watching Legal Talk, brought to you by O'Donnell, Weiss & Matei Law Offices, your life, your business, your law firm. Have a great night, folks.
Thank you.